Hello and welcome to another video. This time we're talking about the Jaguar F Type, which we've owned for quite a few years now. I gotta see how many years exactly. But yeah, it's a bit windy here, so I hope the mic doesn't pick up too many wind noises. I'm gonna go around the car, show you everything in detail of the exterior and the interior, show you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. And yeah, then we go for a ride. Maybe hit VMAX on the Autobahn because it's just around the corner. And afterwards, I'm gonna tell you why we decided to go for this car and not for anything else. Without further ado, let's check out the car. Okay, so let's start with the outside of the car. But first, let me get the key. Okay, so that's the key. Unlock, lock, turn on the headlights, open up the trunk, and if you press this or double press it or I don't know, hold it, then it starts the alarm. I've never used it, so that's why I don't really know how it works. Let's go to the car. With the lights on button, you can just turn on the headlights and turn them off again. And you can see if I lock the car and unlock the car, first off you can see the turn signals and also the handle coming out to allow access. But yeah, let's stay outside for a bit. So we got this Jaguar F Type 450 horsepower in this silver gray color with the red brake calipers, and I think it's 20-inch rims, not even sure. But yeah, I guess you know the car by now because the F Type is not a new car anymore. We went for the black pack, which means all the parts that are usually chrome went black, which I think looks way sportier. I think with this generation it's also standard to have the Jaguar logo in all black. Yeah, we got the 4 exhaust tips. This car makes an incredible sound. I really like it. You can see the backup camera right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it from the outside. We got some nice logos down here indicating that this is the final edition. So let's open up the trunk and show you one thing I don't like about this car, because I just washed the car yesterday, and as you maybe can tell, there's always some dirt in here. It doesn't go away. You have to wipe it separately, and yeah, this gets dirty very fast. Excuse my camera back in here. But that's the trunk. Actually a lot of space for a sports car. You have the sub trunk down here where you can store some stuff, but usually there's just a high-vis vest. And yeah, it's an electric trunk, so you can just push the button and it goes back down. Also in the back there's the rear spoiler here, which flips up at a certain speed, or you can push a button inside. I'm gonna show you soon. And I think it flips up at 120 or 125 kilometers per hour, and then goes back down if you slow down below 80 kilometers per hour. So yeah, that's the car from the outside. I really like the looks. It looks quite sporty, but also it looks quite elegant, so that's a perfect mix. One of the reasons we went for this car, but yeah, more on that later. So now let's hop in and I'm gonna show you around on the inside. On the door you have the seat controls and also the memory seats, and also a way to lock and unlock the car, as well as the window controls and mirror controls. And yeah, you can see the stitching here, which I think is really nice. And then the door sill, you have this silhouette of a Jaguar, which gives it a nice touch, but as you can tell, this car is being used very dirty at the moment. Yeah, and then there's the inside. So let's start with the seats. These are actually really comfortable, and I really like the stitching here and this insert, this aluminum insert. This is perforated leather, so these are heated and ventilated seats. But let me get inside because it's really windy and we'll check out all these buttons here. Okay, so I switched to the action cam because of the wider angle. So we already had the door controls. Down here you can open up the trunk. I think that's for lane assist, fog lights, the brightness of the dashboard, and yeah, here you can obviously direct the airflow of the climate control. Let's get to the steering wheel. Beautiful Jaguar silhouette right here. Then here you have all your media controls and also the buttons to get through the menu on the dashboard. That's voice assist. You can answer phone calls here and different modes also for the dashboard. On the other side you have the heated steering wheel. That's the cruise control buttons. You can set and resume or just go faster or slower with the cruise control. You can cancel it here. And you can switch to the speed limiter, which means you still have to push the gas pedal yourself, but it doesn't let you go over, like, let's say 50 if you're in the city. So you can set it there. And behind the steering wheel, there are the pedals, the shift pedals, which feel actually really nice because I'm not sure if it's even aluminum, but yeah, they feel really, really nice. And down here you have the control for the power automated steering wheel. Also back there, of course, the indicators, and you can switch the light settings, but I usually leave these on auto. On the other side, you have the stock for the windshield wiper and to wash the windscreen. Let's get down here. Let's turn the car on because then you can see better. You got the start stop right here, foot on the brake. Beautiful sound always. What I usually do is, as soon as I start the car, open up the valves and disable auto start stop. That's the button to extract the rear wing, which I showed you earlier, and you can turn ESP off, electronic parking brake. That's the switch for the different driving modes. So you can go to, let's wait a sec. You can go to sports mode, changes the dashboard and also the driving behavior. You can also go up again, then you're in normal mode again, but you can also flip it up to wet mode, which means it kind of reduces the power of the car, especially in winter times. That's not that bad because sometimes with a rear wheel car like this and 450 horsepower, this can be quite slippery. You can turn on and off your media or turn the wheel to make it louder or more silent. And here you have the climate control. You can turn it to change the temperature and you can push it so it changes to the seat temperature, which means you can now push it, then turn it to the right, which activates heated seats. Or you can push it and turn it to the left for the ventilated seats. But yeah, let's leave it here for now. In the middle you can change the amount of airflow, so you can put it higher or lower, or if you push it, you just turn it off completely. And that's when this part also goes down and hides away. But yeah, I usually leave this on. Down here you have the automatic mode for the climate control, air conditioning, if you want the car to recycle the air, the hazards, maximum AC on the window, heated front window, heated back window. Up here you have the media controls, which is a little bit dated now. So you have media, your phone, navigation. I can show you navigation. So yeah, it looks kind of dated to be honest, but I usually just go into Apple CarPlay, which makes everything easier. You have the cameras, the rear view camera, the parking sensors, and over here you have this race mode. For that you gotta switch into dynamic mode, and here you can set some stuff like the steering or the engine or the gears. You can start and stop a timer, you can see the G-forces when you're driving, and you can see how much you're on the gas pedal or on the brakes. So yeah, just some statistics. So yeah, nothing too special to be honest. We got a cup holder right here, also a bit dirty, sorry, this car is being used. You can hide it away like this, and this is good for 2 big cans or bottles, or in the middle you can perfectly fit a Red Bull can. So that's the smaller part. That's actually quite nice to have. And over there the glove box, which you can open like this and close up again. We have the Meridian sound system, as you can see over here. Under the armrest we have some storage space and also the USB ports, so you can hook up your phone, charge it, and also use Apple CarPlay with it. But yeah, let's switch this back to comfort mode. Another storage net over here, but I actually never used this. And we have the, I think it's Alcantara roof line. I think that's about it for the interior. I also showed you the exterior, so we should go for a ride. Let me mount this camera and we'll hit the Autobahn. Okay, so I'm on my way to the Autobahn now. I gotta see how much traffic there is because it's in the middle of the day and I try to keep it safe for everyone. So yeah, but this part should be actually quite empty, hope so. And we'll see if we can hit VMAX. But if not, yeah, I mean, you can't force it, you gotta stay safe. But let's see, maybe we're lucky. So accelerating with this car, the V8 engine, this is in comfort mode. Yeah, this is just fun. The sound this car makes, I'm not sure how much the microphone picks up, but this is just beautiful to drive, to be honest. And luckily also the sun came out. We had quite a rainy night, so I was kind of scared that the surface will be too wet to go fast on the Autobahn, but this seems perfectly fine for me. So now all we have to hope for is not a lot of traffic on the Autobahn, so we can do this safely and see how fast we go. So let's go over here on the A6. Let me flip this into sport mode and also the gear selector into sport. Okay, we can accelerate here, but it seems to be quite busy up front. But yeah, here you can hear some of the engine sound. This is just beautiful. Okay, let's merge and get on the left lane. We are 200 already, but I gotta slow down because there's too much traffic. But I have to say we're at 180 now, and this car is actually planted to the ground. The rear wing flips up, so it gives more pressure and more downforce on the rear axle. And yeah, this car is super nice to drive on the Autobahn. That's too much traffic, so I gotta slow down. Okay, let's talk about driving this car. Honestly, I really enjoy driving it. Of course, it's a cool car, but it's kind of a mixture. It's a sports car, but it's not too track focused or anything. So it lays good on the ground, but it's not like a Porsche or anything in terms of suspension and steering. But the steering is quite direct and can be set to comfort mode or sports mode. So yeah, usually I gotta say it's a great daily driver because you can drive it pretty easily. You have decent amount of luggage space. Yeah, you can live with this car. The seats are quite comfortable, and I've been on long road trips with this car without any issues. We didn't have any issues with the engine or with the car at all. The only problem we had is that the black framing around the rear windows kind of went loose because the glue didn't work properly. But yeah, they fixed that. That was just a minor issue. We didn't have to pay for it. It was on the warranty. So yeah, no problem with that. One thing that can be tricky is driving the car in the snow or when it's heavy rain because it's rear wheel drive and 450 horsepower. So yeah, you gotta be careful doing that. You can put it into winter mode, which actually helps a lot because it reduces the horsepower. But in general, yeah, you gotta be careful. Another thing is that the nose is quite long, just like an AMG GT or SLS. So you gotta account for that sometimes. And the turning radius isn't that perfect. But all in all, it's a great daily driver. I would recommend this car to anybody who wants a sporty vehicle with decent amount of luggage space for road trips or just for daily driving it. But if you want to go to the track, this is not a car for you. This is not a track car. If you want to go to the track, I would rather go for Porsche GT4 or GT4 RS or anything in this category. But this is too heavy and too comfy for the track. The exhaust and engine sound of this car is really nice, but I gotta admit the newer version has some kind of muffled sound because compared to the previous gen was way louder, did a lot more pops and bangs. You can still get these pops and bangs, but not as crazy as the previous ones. Before this car we already had one F Type V8, and before that we had the V6 F Type, the original one. And yeah, the original one, the V6 was a lot louder than this V8. And I also heard that some Jaguar customers said that they don't want the loud startup, which I actually really liked. So yeah, this one is not as loud when you start it up, but if the engine's cold, it's still a decent cold start, so I can't complain about that. There are several reasons why we got this car, and by we, I mean this is actually my dad's car, it's not my personal car. But I work with my dad, I spec the car for my dad, so we share everything in the family. Sometimes I drive my brother's car, sometimes my brother drives this car, and we swap around. So yeah, that's why I always say we, because it's like a family car. If you want to see my car, I actually did a review of that as well, which is quite the opposite to this V8 engine. It's an electric BMW i5. which is my daily driver. I will link the video down below if you want to check this review out as well. So yeah, that's my dad's car. And like I just said, we had the V6 F Type, we had the V8 F Type, and then this came around. And my dad was like, this is gonna be the final Jaguar V8 engine at all, because as you've probably seen, Jaguar went kind of crazy after that. So this is the last Jaguar V8 engine, so quite special. I'm not sure if it actually helps with depreciation, but maybe it doesn't depreciate as much. We've been super happy with the previous versions, didn't have any issues at all. So my father and I were looking at the market, and this was the best car from its value standpoint, because at this price, I mean, it was like 105,000 list price, but we got a decent discount because we already ordered 2 of them. We also ordered a Range Rover Sport at the dealership, so we had quite a good connection to the dealership, which made them give us a pretty good price. So we paid way below that. For that price, it was by far the best offer we could get, and I won't complain about it because I'm really happy with this car. Every once in a while I take it out, mostly on weekends or if there's any car event I want to go to. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I even chased some Ferraris in this car. It was hard to catch up actually, but it was a twisty mountain road and it was doable. So yeah, you could feel the weight of the car. So in the corners sometimes, you know, it's not a proper supercar, but it's a decent sports car, so it's fun to drive. What I don't like about this car is that some of the buttons are quite plasticky, so they feel not as high quality as they should. And also the infotainment system, this is quite old because they didn't really change it from the first one we had to this one. They changed a little bit, but not really any major improvements. So yeah, I usually just use Apple CarPlay because the infotainment is not that great. When it comes to Apple CarPlay, this is just wired Apple CarPlay, no wireless Apple CarPlay. So yeah, that's also not so cool. And as you've seen, it's USB-A ports, not USB-C, because the car is a little older now. So yeah, you always have to bring the cable from USB-A to USB-C to connect for Apple CarPlay. So yeah, those are some minor issues, but all in all, I really can't complain. This car is amazing and it's a lot of fun, and I'm really happy that we got it. Another reason why we got this car, because I think it's quite special. I mean, here in Germany you see a lot of Porsche, which are amazing. I love Porsche, but they are not that special anymore. I mean, I see like at least like 5 or 10 Porsches a day if I go to the city. It has just become a normal car, but you don't see F-Types that often, so it's kind of a special factor. It's not a super crazy car, so yeah, car spotters probably won't take out the camera and take photos. Well, some do, but not all of them compared to a Porsche. But yeah, it's still a beautiful car and it's somewhat special. So that's another point why we decided to go for this Jaguar F Type. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about this car, let me know in the comments down below. Also let me know if you like this type of video. The BMW video actually went very well, so that's why I decided to show you this car as well in detail. But yeah, I'm gonna head home now. Give this video a like if you like it, and stay tuned for the next video because I'm gonna go to Jerk Collector Track Day at the Nürburgring. So there will be tons of hypercars, will be some car spotting, so not a review type of video. But I hope you like those kind of videos as well. So stay tuned and see you next time.